Pas jam 2 ya.
Siapa materi pertama ya? Jangan. Nah, nanti kan, jam-jam ini yang tidak ada, yang begitu ya.
We will start in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Siapa dari Thailand, Chokchai ya, Chokchai. Nggak usah dibaca lah, nanti susah kali. Bilang oleh narasumber. Meksiko, Thailand, Husin Haruna. Islam deh.
Nanti siapa yang share presentasi? Harus ada itu situ. Itu.
Connecting technology in education. Dari Thailand ini Muslim juga? Bukan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the international webinar, Emerging Technology in Education. First of all, praise and thanks to Allah for gathering us today in the international webinar. This event is organized by Chemistry Education Department, together with the Student Association, Chemistry Education, AR-RANIRY Banda Aceh, Indonesia. This webinar aims to discuss about a different perspective on using technology in education that's very relevant to our condition today, where almost the learning has been moved online due to the COVID-19. Here with us today, we have the Vice Rector UIN AR-RANIRY, Dr. Saifullah MAG. Thank you very much, Bapak. And we also have the invited speaker from different countries, expert in technology and education. Thank you for agreeing to participate as speakers, and also all special participants who joining us from around the world. On behalf of Chemistry Education Department, I would like to welcome and thanks all of you for participating in this international webinar. Next, we will start by welcoming speech from Vice Rector UIN AR-RANIRY, Dr. Saifullah MAG. Dr. Saifullah MAG, the platform is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'. First of all, my warmest regard and greeting to the Dean and Vice Dean of the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training at AR-RANIRY State Islamic University of Banda Aceh. My regard and greeting also to the head secretary and staff of the Department of Semester Education at the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training at AR-RANIRY State Islamic University of Banda Aceh. My regard and greeting are also dedicated to the head of the department, the secretaries and staff of the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training at AR-RANIRY State Islamic University. My regards also to the head of the organizing committee and members of the organizing committee at Webinar International. My special regard and greeting also go to our guest speaker and moderator for this international seminar. Welcome and thank you for joining us at this monumental event. Finally, my regard and greeting to all of the participants of this seminar. Thank you all for your participation. On behalf of this institution, I need to congratulate and express my full support and appreciation to all of us for the successful planning and management of this event, especially to the Department of Semester Education. Ladies and gentlemen, the success and greatness that are achieved by a university can often be measured through the size of scientific work being at the university, either in the form of research or publication carried out by its professor, teacher, and staff. Such work, in order to be known and contested, needs to be shared through various means and media, one of which is this seminar. During this international event, I'm sure that today we are accompanied by some experts who are very knowledgeable about the topic at hand, imaging technology in education. Of course, because these experts have a lot to share with us today, I hope that all of our participants, especially the teaching staff and students of this department, will seize this opportunity in order to gain more experience, knowledge, and also professional development. This is an opportunity given to all of us that we can use to assess our own abilities and sharpen our talent, which would take us to the right direction for the future. Once again, on behalf of this institution, I dedicate our utmost appreciation to the head of the department, secretary, and all of the members of the organizing committee who have worked their hardest to ensure that this program runs smoothly. Special thanks are also dedicated to our guest speakers who have spared their time to participate in this seminar. We certainly hope that other departments and their program within the Faculty of Education and Teacher Training would soon follow suit and become part of global academic life. Finally, by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I, on behalf of this beloved institution, declare that this seminar is officially open. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, the Vice Rector AR-RANIRY, Dr. Saifullah. Let's give a welcoming speech that also opened the international webinar, Emerging Technology in Education. We hope that you also can stay with us until the next 2 hours. Thank you.
No problem.
Before we start, we would like to inform there is some rearrangement of the speakers. Unfortunately, Professor Dr. Chok Hai Yung Yong from Faculty of Education, Kon Kaen University, Thailand, he would be able to join us today due to the circumstance in the university. And we apologize for any inconvenience. However, we still have 3 excellent speakers here with us that would love to share their knowledge and experience. We have Dr. Haruna Hussein, Dr. Zamzami Zainuddin, and also Mr. Zuhra Sofyan MSc. And the first speaker today will be Mr. Zamzami Zainuddin, PhD. Welcome and thank you very much. Mr. Zamzami.
Yeah, hello, Assalamualaikum, Dr. Nurmala. So you can listen me, right? You can listen me, right?
Yes, well, right? I can listen you very clearly. I will read some brief description about you before we start. Zamzami Zainuddin, PhD, is from the University of Hong Kong. We'll talk about emerging technologies in education. Mr. Zamzami has a strong interest on the aspect of technology in education, including emerging technology in education, innovative pedagogy for sustainable development, human ecology interaction, low-touch media in education, information literacy, digital divided, and digital citizenship. Mr. Zamzami has published numerous articles on the use of technology in learning and teaching. For the next 15 minutes, the platform is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nurmala. Maybe I wonder if I can share my PPT right over here.
Somebody will help us here.
I think I can share my own PPT
course.
Because
yes.
I have updated my own PPT here.
Oh, of course. Please. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Because the time is very limited, 15-minute presentation. So I want to take my time to present that directly what we need to present about emerging technology in education. And first of all, I want to take my time to thank you very much for Department of Chemistry, Faculty of Education, UIN-RANIRY, and for inviting me, for having me in this international webinar on emerging technology in education. Today, I'm very happy. I met with my teachers, Dr. Saifullah over there. Yeah, we met before last year, if not mistaken, in UIN, and today we met again, and we are waiting you in Hong Kong, Dr. Saifullah. Yeah, next soon, inshallah, after COVID, after COVID, we will be meeting in Hong Kong soon, in my University of Hong Kong. Okay, today I'm very happy and honored to come back to my alma mater, to my mother university, UIN-RANIRY. I graduated from the Faculty of Education, UIN-RANIRY, in 2012, and then I got a scholarship to continue my study to University of Malaya in Kuala Lumpur, and then I just completed my PhD at the University of Hong Kong in Hong Kong under the scholarship of Hong Kong government. And now I'm working as research fellow at the University of Hong Kong Faculty of Education. Okay, well, I would like to begin my presentations by comparing Industry 4.0 and COVID-19. So what's the difference between COVID-19 and Industry 4.0? I have mentioned this in my presentation before in Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta UMS. The significant difference about Industry 4.0 and COVID-19 in education field. Um, as we know, the Industry 4.0 is the era of disruptions. It brings a disruptive impact on every sector of human life, particularly on economics and business or manufacturing, but does not have a big impact on education. Okay, Industry 4.0 does not have a big impact on education, but on economic and manufacturing, on business. In educational sectors, Industry 4.0 only introduced and suggested us about some sort of digital device in education like IoT, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, about human and computer interactions, blended learning, flipped learning, everything. Just introduce, but do not force us to apply this technology. Okay, but in manufacturing and economy, in business, Industry 4.0 force economic. Okay, and in business, Industry 4.0 is dramatically reshaping the business landscape, such as the presence of Grab, Gojek in Indonesia has a pressure on incumbent, especially Ojek Tenggolan Indonesia or in Aceh, RBT or Tukang Ojek. This is a very disruptive, but not in education. But the presence of COVID-19 today has dramatically changed the global education system. Ready or not ready, people are forced to transfer their teaching and learning process from conventional teaching and learning face-to-face into online learning. Usually, every day, our teachers, our students only use the internet for TikTok, for Instagram, for Facebook. But today, most of us are forced to transfer the education, to access the technology for education purpose. And most of us are shocked because we are not prepared with that. And talking about technology in education, we need to learn so many emerging technology in education, and different era has different technologies. And technology is always grow every day, every hours, and even every single minute. Technology always develops. So we are as educator, we are as student, practitioner, teachers. We need to always update technology in education. So what is the purpose of technology in education? The main purpose of technology in education is to make students engage in learning, to motivate students, to make learning more effectiveness. That's the main point of technology in education. Okay. Mm, okay. This is the definition of technology, of emerging technology in education. So emerging technology is we can define is as the currently developing or that are expected to be available within the next 5 or 10 years, and is usually reserved for technologies that are creating or are expected to create significant social economic effect. So it means that emerging technology, that technology already exists today, and technology that will be developed within 5 years or within 10 years later, what kind of technology? So emerging technology can be in education, can be in military, can be in medical, can be in every sector, can be in chemistry, for example. So in education, we have uh, several technologies updated every year by New Media Consortium Horizon Report. And in 2019, as we can see on the PPT, there are several technologies, emerging technology like IoT, Internet of Things, AI, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, 3D printing, 5G, robotic, biometric, drones, serverless computing. I think this is already very high, yeah, very high for us, especially in Indonesia or in developing countries, talking about this technology. And later, we are not talking about this advanced technology. We're going to be a bit lower level of technology. Okay, this is the history of technology in the world. As we can see here, yeah, as we can see here, technologies began in 2500 before century. Abacus, scroll, petroglyphs. So technology is not just digital. Okay, technology is not just internet. It's not just television. It's not just radio. Not just computers, a smartphone, iPad, but ruler, blackboard also can be a technology at that time during that period. So do you know what is abacus? Abacus is this. Indonesia we call sampua. This is also technology at that time. This is a very advanced technology, sampua, abacus. And also this is also scroll, also technology at that time. And petroglyphs. People, this is a carving on the wood or carving on the in the cave. This is also called as technology at that time. And during the Renaissance, yeah, if not mistake, during the Renaissance, 1500 century, this is the first this is the first advanced technology founded by Johannes Gutenberg. Yeah, during the Renaissance, here this is called printing press. And after the invention of printing press, many books produced in the world. Yeah, and then after the Renaissance, we have the era of Industrial Revolution 1.0 here. So during the Industrial Revolution 1.0, there is another technology called steam machine. Yeah. And then during so many technologies produced in the world during the Industrial Revolution 2.0, there are camera, radio, moving picture, televisions, computers, and then the Industrial Revolution 3.0 is about the internet access. And today, Industrial Revolution 4.0 is about Internet of Things. Yeah. So blackboard is also technology. Yeah, in 1801, James Pillant, headmaster of geography teachers at the Old High School in Edinburgh, Scotland, is credited with inventing the first modern blackboard. So if we are still using blackboard in our classrooms, that means that we are using technology from 1801. Okay, on the right side, we have here the smart board. I don't think in our university or in many school or universities in Indonesia we have the smart board. But smart board has been invited by David Martin and team from their company Smart in 1991. So uh, actually we need to use this right now because we are now in the digital age, in the digital era, because we teach students digital native millennial students. So I think all school or university in Indonesia should transfer their blackboard into smartboard. And I remember I conducted several studies collecting the data in Hong Kong, and they have a library for iPad. So student can borrow iPad from the library and can bring home the iPad for learning. And there are so many apps available for learning on their iPad. And okay, talking about technology in education. Okay, technology in education is not just tool. So talking about technology is not just computers, not just internet, not just smartphone, but technology in education also refers to the learning strategies, instructional strategies, pedagogies, learning theories, which aim at achieving the teaching and learning goals. So everything that can help people learn better, help students engage in learning or motivated students to learn with fun, any media, any strategies that call in education technology. Okay. Okay. So this is the main purpose of technology in education today. Bloom taxonomy. So every teachers, people in education know about Bloom taxonomy. So this is the revised version of Bloom taxonomy. Okay, the latest version is evaluation. The highest order, the highest order thinking skill is evaluations. But today, with this revised Bloom taxonomy, the higher order thinking skill is creating. Okay, people can consider expert if they can produce a product. What product? Everything. That can be paper, that can be book, that can be videos, that can be mobile apps, that can be writing song, everything. As long as the product can be used by other people, this is called creating. So the higher order taking skill in education based on Bloom taxonomy is creating. So when students or when teachers or professors just able to remember to memorize lessons or to understand lessons, that's still considered as lower order thinking skill. So in education, in teaching, it's not just remembering, it's not just understanding, but producing a product. Yeah, our product can be used by other people. Book can be read by other people, and also everything, every product that call creating. Okay, let's see emerging technology in 2020. This is today's emerging technology. Okay, in the world. So talking about emerging technology this year, EDUCAUSE Horizon Report. So if you want to update emerging technology in education, we can, you guys, all people can access EDUCAUSE Horizon Report. Every year they update emerging technology. I think this technology is a bit advanced for the community of Indonesian, Indonesian education, like talking about adaptive learning, machine learning, talking about learning analytics, talking about open educational resources, talking about augmented reality and virtual reality. But in this presentation, we are not going to discuss more about 2020 emerging technology. We're going down, not 2019, not 2018, not 2017, not 2015, but we are going to discuss about the emerging technology in 2014. Okay, 2014, this technology also of emerging technology in 2014, most people in Indonesia not still not apply this kind of research, this kind of technology, this kind of pedagogy. Most research, I read most research in Indonesia, uh, most author or researcher from Indonesia are very limited, very lack of research regarding BYOD, bring your own device, gamification, MOOC, flip learning. So later we will discuss about what is BYOD, what is gamification, what is MOOC, what is flip learning. Okay, this is a very simple one that we can apply in Indonesia. And this is considered as emerging technology in 2014. Maybe we can start use this as emerging technology in Indonesia in 2020. Okay, BYOD. What is BYOD? BYOD means that students must bring their own device to the class. So in our culture in education in Indonesia, when teachers standing in front of the class, please put your handphone in your bag. Do not touch your handphone. Do not access your internet. That's wrong. That's mistake in today's digital age. So BYOD, we need to use smartphone. Ask students to open smartphone and also access learning material on smartphone. Don't be afraid of smartphone. Don't be afraid of technology. So today we assume that technology is bad. Technology is negative. Students do not touch handphone in the classroom. Do not access Google. Actually, we can use smartphone. We can ask students to access learning material by touching their smartphone. We can use, for example, inquiry-based learning. Okay, we can ask students, dear all students, please find the definition of democracy. Please define the definition of atom, for example, in chemistry. So we give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes to find the answer on Google. Okay, please googling what the definition of atom, what the definition of democracy, and you need to explain in your own language. This is how to use technology in the classroom, not just listen to the teachers in the classroom. Today we live in the digital age. The center of education is not teachers anymore. Teachers, lecturers today as a partner, motivator. Okay, if you watch ILC Indonesia, Pak Parni Ilyas, there is a kind of teachers today. teachers not to teach in the class, but to accompany students. Welcome, Dr. Haruna Hussein. Okay, Dr. Haruna is from Tanzania and just have a long trip from USA to Tanzania. Okay, I will continue about, yeah, BYOD is very important, how to use technology in the classroom. I also mentioned this to some of my friends in structure in organization. For example, one of my friends in HME in Indonesia told me that when I teach my student or participant in the organization, I always ask students to put away their smartphone. Do not touch smartphone. That's that's actually it's not correct. It's not right. Today we live in a digital age. We need to use smartphone, every technologies for a learning purpose. Okay, that's called as BYOD. Okay, if we don't use technology for positive side, so many negative side will come to this technology, and people will access technology for negative side. Okay, the second emerging technology that we can apply in Indonesia is MOOC. Okay, massive open online course. So student from UIN, student from Indonesia can study everywhere around the world by choosing MOOC. You can be a student of Harvard. You can be a student of my university, University of Hong Kong. You can be a student everywhere. You can be a student everywhere by joining MOOC. Universitas Indonesia also, they also have MOOC. Okay, this is for example of MOOC that you can join, especially during the COVID-19. So many students join a MOOC. Yeah, you can choose yeah, many lessons from MOOC. Maybe uh, I can share you the website. For example, sorry, for example, this one. For example, this is from the University Indonesia. You can choose here the course you want to choose, the course categories, and you also can choose, for example, this from Stanford University. You can join. You will get certificate. This is certificate. Okay, graduate certificate from Stanford University. So if you want to be a student also from Harvard University, you also can join it course from Harvard University. So today, education is open for everyone in the world, no limited. Yeah, student in Blangkrung, in Rukoh, in Darussalam also can join, can study in MIT, can study in Harvard online. Okay, so knowledge is unlimited today. So this is a MOOC. Okay, then I continue to. Okay, now then I continue to. Okay, and then this one. Sorry. Okay, then gamifications. We have another emerging technology in education called gamification. What is gamification? Gamification is not playing game. It's not game-based learning. It's not digital game, but we adopt game elements. What element mechanic in game we apply in non-game context. We have goal, learning, achievement, competition, rewards. So we apply in learnings. Why gamification is important? Because game itself is addictive. Okay, many people say that game is addictions. People addicted to game, addiction to game. So we need to take the advantage of addiction to learning. So people will be addictive to learnings, addiction, reading a book. Okay, this is the positive side of addiction in game that we can adopt. We can adopt and apply in non-game context. There are so many platforms. There are so many platforms that we can use for gamification, for gamified learnings, like quizzes, Kahoot. I think everyone, some of you, I think already experienced with Kahoot or with quizzes. We can design a question here like open-ended question or multiple choice or false or wrong, and student will compete by answering the question. It's like playing game, but this is not game. This is called gamifications. And we have published about gamification. I and Dr. Haruna and several other experts have published this in the journals Computers and Educations. And also recently, we also just published our gamifications research without using digital platform. in computers in the journals Information and Learning Sciences. And okay, if we have time later, we can practice about how to use Kahoot, how to use quizzes, okay, how you guys can answer the question, and we will see who is the first ranking, who is the first, the top expert from the knowledge here. I have created several questions on Kahoot and also on quizzes. If we have time later, we can discuss and we can share this. And then flipped classroom is also emerging technology in education. This has been widely implemented worldwide. I also have researched this and have published these journals in top journals in education, in computers and education under Elsevier. What is flipped classroom? What is flipped learning? What is flipped learning? Flipped learning is a part of blended learning. In Indonesia, already popular with blended learning. Blended learning, that a combination of e-learning and face-to-face we conduct together. We conduct together at the same time, so-called blended learning. Why blended learning happen? Because so many limitations of e-learning, no face-to-face, so many limitations of face-to-face. So they combine between face-to-face and technology called blended learning. And flipped learning, flipped classroom is a part of blended learning. Okay, a part of blended learning means that the student watch the video lectures before class and come to class, student will discuss. They don't have time again to listen to talk to lectures, boring, very boring lectures. Sometimes people, students sleepy. Okay, it's better for to flip the class. Lecturer or professor can record the videos on and share on YouTube. Okay, upload it on YouTube and share to student on WhatsApp on every platform, and then ask student to watch before class, and student can repeat that they're watching once, twice, three times, four times, 5 times, and so on. Because every student has different abilities to understand lectures. When teachers speak in the class once, 2 or 3 students understand. 5 to 6 students sleepy. 7 to 12 students boring. This kind of traditional lectures in the class. So in flipped classroom, again, we record the videos. We record attractive video, but not too long. Videos can be 5 minutes to 10 minutes and share to students on the LMS like Moodles or social media like Facebook, Instagram or WhatsApp, and student can watch the video before class. And when coming to the class, student will discuss about the issue we have shared on the videos. And instructor do not be the god of knowledge in the class, just share, speak, lectures, memberikan ceramah, but be a facilitator. How to engage student in learning, how to engage student in learning. Pretend that teacher do not know anything. Ask student, what do you mean by this? I don't know. Can you share us? Can you share me? I don't know as a teacher. So all students will be confident in the class. Okay, this can improve critical thinking among students in learning. So this is just 4 emerging technology that we can start practicing in our education system in Indonesia. And I think I can stop here my presentation, and we can discuss later with question and answer, and with practice. Maybe if we have time, can practice like I have designed question. We can practice with Kahoot or quizzes. And thank you very much. And maybe can be continued by Dr. Haruna from Tanzania, from Mexico. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Halo. Halo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zamzami Zainuddin, PhD from the University of Hong Kong. Very interesting presentation. We can see how is the technology was transformed from the paper to the very advanced one. And here with us now, we have Dr. Haruna Hussein. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you very much for joining with us today. We really happy that you are able to share some experience, knowledge that you have. I will read a little bit a description that I have from you from your CV before we start. Dr. Haruna Hussein is from Tecnológico de Monterrey, Mexico. And today we'll talk about gamification in learning. Is also obtained his PhD from the University of Hong Kong. So you must know Zamzami because it's the same alumni from the same university. And his focus on is about e-learning, and he also has been involved in many various research projects and grants from national and international organizations, and so far has received more than 20 awards. His research interests are including in the area of e-learning, game-based learning, gamification, using technology in learning, innovation in teaching and learning. For the next about 15 minutes, the platform is yours, Dr. Haruna, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for Zamzam to invite me to present in this meeting. Actually, I'm sorry for my delay. My flight delayed, so I just arrived now, and I'm not even home. I said, let me find somewhere so that I can share with you my experience, because it's really important for me to learn from you, and also you to learn from me. We learn from each other. Thank you so much. I'm going to share with you my screen. Okay. Oh, so can you allow me to share my screen over there?
Wait a minute. We will work with that.
Okay, I think I can share it here. It's already. So can you see?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Well, yeah, actually, it's based on the emergence of different e-learning platforms during COVID-19 pandemic, and it's the same. We can change, we can use it in different ways. So for this talk, I'm going to discuss about different learning platforms that can be used anywhere, and especially for those education institutions who want to transform their education from traditional teaching to technology. So this is emergence of different e-learning platform during COVID-19 pandemic. My presentation outline will focus on introduction, the impact of COVID-19 on global education, and also definition of e-learning. I think most of them, some of the issues have been already discussed, like the definition of e-learning. Some of presenters already presented, and reason to offer e-learning classes in COVID-19, emergence of e-learning during COVID-19, the role of e-learning in COVID-19 crisis, e-learning platforms, digital resources for e-learning, the use of e-learning during COVID-19, not only COVID-19. Actually, I'm talking about COVID-19 because of this situation now we are, right? And also I'll talk about effective e-learning platforms, which are most effective, why they are considered to be effective than traditional teaching, the challenge of e-learning, and also conclusion. As we all are aware that the COVID-19 has resulted in schools shut all across the world, and globally over 1.2 billion children are out of the classroom. As a result, education has changed dramatically with the distinctive let me do this. Yes, okay. So the education has been changing with the distinctive rise of e-learning, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. Research suggests that online learning has been shown to increase the retention of information and take less time, meaning the changes of coronavirus have caused might be here to stay. So The impact of COVID-19 on global education, and these are the statistics from Health Organization. So the COVID-19 is strong impact on global education. Worldwide, there are currently more than 1.2 billion children in 186 countries affected by school closure due to pandemic. Teaching, learning in the time of COVID-19 pandemic needs to be revamped in order to follow norms of social distancing. So since we are not supposed to be in our traditional way, where people learn from a classroom, teacher and student interact each other, but now we need to distance socially so that we cannot get contracted with the COVID-19. E-learning has become the norm, and several national and international academic societies have combined resources to assure that education occurs during this difficult time. And these are the statistics from March, where 1.38 billion schools, 1.38 billion students are out of schools due to COVID-19. So e-learning, I think it's not a new to most of you, to most of us. Most of us, we know about e-learning. So, well, basically, e-learning is a digital technological tool has been used for teaching and learning. So we transform. Rather than using traditional, now we are changing into using digital devices and digital technology to facilitate teaching and learning. Various types of digital technology have been harnessed and integrated into educational institutions that are focused on fostering and optimizing the delivery of learning. Whether it is language app, virtual tutoring, video conferencing tools like this one we are doing now, or online learning software, there has been a significant surge in usage since will continue to be used. And I think this is going to be sustainable solution for educational system, because we don't know yet what will come tomorrow. So our education system needed to invest into e-learning in order to facilitate teaching and learning in all whether we have pandemic or not. So reasons to offer e-learning classes in COVID-19. In some countries, it was declared the beginning of transition to virtual instruction in all educational classes. So they have to change from traditional to e-learning, because education needs to continue whether we have pandemic or not. And the students, in some countries, students already graduated due to learning through technology. So face-to-face schooling is constructed as a specific threat from which the communities must be protected, and emergency e-learning is a security measure proposed to protect the community, because now students and teachers are not going to meet physically. They are going to meet online through learning platform. So for this way, it is a protective measure to avoid contamination of the COVID-19. The decision of educational institutions to limit face-to-face classes as a means of reducing close proximity interactions is justifiable by using this digital technology. So, digital technology offers a highly effective learning environment in terms of interactivity. It is been said that students learn effectively through digital technology because they interact with learning content, learning exercises, and all those kind of learning can be done online. So it is highly interactive tool that offers the student to interact. You can even design chatting, can socialize online rather than face-to-face, because you can create a different platform where they can at least manage to have their interactivity through learning. Also, it offers complementary interactive reinforcement that allows students to study 24/7 and work at their own pace. Availability in any location with an internet connection, students can attend using their device. Now I'm here in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, but I'm attending this conference with you guys in Indonesia. So this is the flexibility of digital or e-learning platforms. Direct teacher feedback. The student can get feedback on time rather than waiting for teacher to mark their assignment or exercise. Real-time student monitoring and corresponding reports. It allows you to share schedules and classes online to increase attendance. Also improve the image of a solution that solve real-life problems. So the emergence of during COVID-19, the resultant technology initiative have expanded the creation of several tools to facilitate the teaching and learning process. Many online learning platforms are offering free access or fee to their So what are the role of e-learning in the crisis? Not from the beginning. Don't take it as during even in different circumstances e-learning. So we should not only consider but also in some other ways. So for this matter, the role of e-learning is the teaching and learning process using e-learning and its digital technology. So now we transform our learning from traditional teaching to digital so that to offer learning to students whether we have this pandemic or not. As long as we have these digital tools, students can learn apps, edutech, those apps they are called teaching and learning. We have a lot of these tools nowadays that can be designed to facilitate teaching and learning. And you can even buy, you can doing these things and to facilitate teaching and learning. Students are accessing the lesson increasingly on different apps, and that will help the child who are in higher grades be ready for the coming year. Yes, we cannot have this pandemic. We need to continue with it. Learning to continue with even if we have a pandemic situation like this one. Started taking more live classes. Yes, because educators are ready. They have started teaching their students to do their assignment online. I heard Zamzam mention about Moodle. Yes, it is very powerful in facilitate teaching learning by putting all the learning resources online, and the students and teachers can interact. E-learning platform like those ones mentioned by Zamzam that like gamification, game-based learning, Moodle, and all those kind of stuff. So what are those ones? So here we are talking about a virtual learning environment or e-learning management system like Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, MOOCs. Those are the learning management system. Also, we have serious games and gamification learning platform. So serious game is those games designed to facilitate teaching and learning for serious, because games can be used for entertainment, but these ones to facilitate teaching and learning process. That's why they call serious game. And also gamification already mentioned by the previous presenter that it's the use of game elements to non-gaming context. Like in Moodle, it already have those plugins that can facilitate those badge, anything that can be used to offer facilitate students to motivate the intention to learn and also to engage them during learning. Also, we have mobile learning or M-learning. We also have those lecture captured system, and we have paid question mark reverse. Those are the e-learning platforms that you can even use or implement in your education system. So we also have reading Facebook, Pinterest, and also we have virtual reality. Those are the types of e-learning platforms. So digital resources for e-learning. Now we already know how this e-learning platform we can use. Now you need to transform those learning materials into digital so that they can be embedded into the e-learning platform, because you can class and put it, you need to transform them. So what are those resources can be used for e-learning? Yes, we have like ebooks with no additional features like a statistic PDF. There are also interactive ebooks with a link to interactive quizzes, videos, and further readings. Also, there are open access videos such as YouTube, TED Talks, or Khan Academy. Also, there are open educational resources or open access resources. Publishers created online resources provided alongside textbooks such as test banks, PowerPoint slides, and teaching notes. There are also text-based resources created by teachers, including handouts and PowerPoint slides. There are also video or podcasts created by teachers or institution itself. Also, video purchased by institution to support the teaching and learning process. The use of e-learning during COVID-19. So how you can use them? You can use to hold the virtual classes, lessons for students to watch in real time. Also recording classes or lessons for students to access on demand. Also putting content on digital teaching and learning platform for students to access. To assign a pre-class activity, watching a video to discuss in class, like flipped learning, as my previous presenter also mentioned about flipped classroom. To test the student understanding of a topic before or during the class. Also to assign assessment or homework after class. To watch a video in class and have a student discuss in class. This blended learning also is already mentioned. To deliver course content for an online module. Students use it to turn in their assignments. So students can submit the assignment online, and teacher can mark them online, and the students can get feedback online. So everything can be done online. To provide the student with the PowerPoint slides, notes, or other handouts. To provide the student with the additional resources from the textbook, website, and all other third parties. Students and the teachers use it as a discussion forum. Yes, we can also create a discussion forum. We can create those topics and students can share their ideas, their opinion. So it's also like similar to face-to-face, but this one conducted digital. So how can we consider this is effective e-learning class? You need to measure and see which one is effective, which one is not effective. Since the studies have shown that children extensively use their sense to learn, making learning fun and effective through use of technology is crucial. So inclusion, personalization, and intelligence. You contextualize the learning based on the requirement of students. So you need to include each of your students to take part of your learning. A structured environment is required because kids are more easily distracted. Like serious gaming, they are more attractive to kids to learn because they are learning while they are playing. That's why it has been considered to be more powerful learning platform. So ensure digital equity. So every student has access to digital facilities. There are internet connection. So this can ensure that this learning is effective because everyone is included. Practice. Students can practice online, can do their assignment, can do whatever through online learning. Provide clear expectation to teachers and students so that there must be an objective. What are we going to achieve at the end of the lesson? Take time to plan. So teacher, take time to plan your learning activities, your assignment, and everything to make sure that the student understand easily. Establish daily schedule. So provide a daily schedule to students so that they can be aware what's going on, what are we going to discuss tomorrow, what are we going to learn, what next topic. Teacher, make sure that you provide robust learning through interactive learning environment. So what are the challenges? We have challenges in learning. So challenges are based on some students without reliable internet access and or technology struggle to participate in digital learning. So digital literacy here is crucial to be taken into consideration, and it is regarded as a prerequisite for offering the course, because if I'm digitally illiterate, how can I attend online learning? Also, e-learning may also probably be mislead to piracy and plagiarism, predisposed by inadequate selection skills as well as the ease of copy and paste. So this is a challenge that the educational institution or teachers need to take into account. But also due to plagiarism, we have this plagiarism detector. You can buy it and put in your institution to make sure that students, they are doing their own work rather than copying and pasting from others. So e-learning may also deteriorate institution role, socialization role, and also the role of instructor as the director of the process of education. Well, as we mentioned, since we have this COVID-19 now, we have no choice. Of course, we need that social interaction, face-to-face interaction, but now we will interact online. So also, not all field of or discipline can employ the e-learning technique in education. For instance, the pure scientific field that include practical. Let's take into account medicine. Students need to go to practice in your hospital. So how this can be possible? So there are some courses that need practical, and the e-learning, some of the content are not available for e-learning. Also time consuming to find or create digital resources to use or incorporate into teaching. So it requires time to develop those learning materials and embed them into the e-learning platform to facilitate teaching and learning. And teacher need to be active every time to make sure that they develop them and they are available for students. Lack of confidence or skill to use digital technology more in teaching and learning. So most of the teachers and students, some of them, they lack this digital literacy skills to facilitate teaching and learning process. Difficult to find digital resources supplied by publishers useful or applicable to the course. So like my course, I don't know, no publisher created those things. So I need to create myself. So it's hard sometimes to get ready-made ones. So you need to customize them. And it goes to also time consuming to create ones. Also, no relevant example, how to, suggestion and case studies to give idea of how technology and resources can use in teaching and in relevant discipline. So it depends. Some of them, some of the discipline, they can't get that relevant example to provide to their students. So they need it cannot be applicable. Oh, sometimes the institution digital infrastructure and facilities like the internet and the virtual learning or learning management system do not work reliably. So sometimes we have these challenges that we don't have these facilities, and having a transforming from traditional teaching to digital learning, it requires money, it requires investment. So institutions need to be ready to use to invest and use the money to make sure that they properly invest in transform their education system from traditional teaching to digital learning. There is no technical or user support for either the digital resources to use or the digital technology available. Sometimes we lack technical support from expertise, or we don't have those expertise that can facilitate, can provide the technical support once we have any problem. Insufficient budget, as I said, we need to invest a lot in e-learning. So some institutions, they have insufficient budget to implement more digital technology or resources in teaching and learning process. So yeah, by conclusion, the integration in education will be further accelerated, and that online education will eventually become an integral component of school education. Some research shows that on average, students retain 25 to 60% more material when learning online compared to only 8 to 10% in a classroom. So e-learning requires 40 to 60% less time to learn than in traditional classroom setting, because the students can learn at their own pace, going back and reading, skipping or accelerating through concepts as they choose. Oh, so this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Haruna. Very interesting that we can see there's a lot of benefits of using the technology in education. And also we see so many challenges that we have. We have some question in the question and answer section. We will go back to that later. For all the
Yeah.
participants, please drop your question here and we will address as best as we can to answer all the questions by the speakers. And then we will go to the next speaker, the third one and also the last one, Mr. Zuhra Sofyan, MSc from UIN AR-RANIRY, Banda Aceh, Indonesia. This is actually our university. Mr. Zohra will talk about e-learning applied in education. Mr. Zohra is an information technology education lecturer in UIN AR-RANIRY and a guest researcher in Hasso-Plattner Institute Potsdam, Germany. He is an expertise on web-based programming, IT-based learning media, computer graphic, database, IT lab management, media graphic technology. He also has many experience working in the area of information in the national and international level. Mr. Zohra, the platform is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Nurmal Hayati. Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to sit down with the other experts. I actually am not expert in the myself because I know that other panelists such as Mr. Zamzam and Mr. Haruna is very capable of talking about e-learning system in implementation and also in the research areas. But today I just want to share my experience in developing several kind of massive online, open online course system that's dated back from 2012 when I just came into my master degree and also my thesis related to e-learning system, and in RWTH Aachen University. And after that, 3 months ago, I just received the invitation from Uni Potsdam also to work as a researcher guest to help them develop have a look, not help them because they are established institution. So they just invite me to have a look and see the inside of the one of the e-learning platform in Germany that well known and used by many uh, well acknowledged institutions such as WHO and then SAP, Humboldt University also. So today I just want to talk a little bit about that experience. So let me start with sharing my screen first. Okay, right. So as a preamble, I'll give you before I came to the application of developing the online platforms. I just want to give you a context about what do we know about ourselves. So we know we have different generations ourselves in this world. So we can divide it into at least 5 or 6 generation. The first one is builder generation. They are usually already retired and they have uh, contact only small contact with technology nowadays. They only have experience with TV, radio, or maybe a little bit mobile phone. And then after that, there is other generation called baby boomers. It is usually they are now the leaders sit as in the government, the electorate, and they have a stable lifestyle. So I think they already have a good grasp of information technology. They daily use emails, maybe messaging, mobile phone to do some daily tasks. And then after that comes the Generation X, age 37 to 51. They don't have any childhood exposure to modern technology, so it's very limited. But currently, Generation X are the current CEOs of the company, or maybe still active workers, but they are able to use the latest tech even though they have still learning, but they are capable of using the latest tech, but leave the detail if they have problem to the younger generation. Then come the Generation X, age between 22 and 36 years old. I think the Generation X Y have a more balanced portion of technological knowledge. So some have a very limited knowledge in the early childhood with the contact with the technology, but some of them already have a good exposure with the technology. So they are adapt easier rather than previous generation in terms of technology, using technology. And then after that comes below Generation Z, age between 7 and 21 years old. I would say that they are the avid users of technology. They are the early adopter of current trend of technology. So whatever comes first, they will use it first, and then they will share it with the others, and then yeah, it's technology is already part of their lives. And then comes the latest uh, generation Alpha, or I would say that this generation is born and raised in technology. They already born open their eyes, and then they already have surrounded by digital gadget. Maybe even my 3 years old daughter already able to operate the tablet, install the games and and everything. So I think that's very they are the native. Uh, some of some of experts call them a digital native generation. So the characteristic of each generation is very different. Generally different. Then how they approach to the current technology is different, and how they learn is different, and that's the landscape of our uh, generation in this world. So we have to know them first, and then uh, decide which kind of e-learning system that will probably serve its purpose to each generation. So But let's now focus on our current trend, especially in learning landscape. In Indonesia, usually we still adopt the traditional education system. So maybe I don't know how many percent, but more than 50% still using 100% offline classes. So only small part the lecture already conducted online. So we see that there are three layers of the using digital technology platform to supplement the traditional classroom. The first one is the first layer is the usually many institutional already develop their own local MOOCs or e-learning platform, and then they're also using Google Classroom, Moodle, and then already supplemented by chat group for discussion, and then some of the lecture already using video conferencing apps. Before Corona, we are using like Skype maybe, or Google Meet, Google Meeting, something like that. But that doesn't cover all of the uh, education the knowledge in one of the courses, for example. And then after that, the student that feel they don't have enough knowledge, enough exposure to the content of the course will come to the second layer. They ask other third party platform to fulfill this knowledge. For example, they can use Ruang Guru or Skill Academy, and then search the information, the relevant information from YouTube, blogs, but mainly they're using a platform that using Bahasa as introduction language. So even after that, some of students still not get what they want. So some student that have, or learner that have more capability of using English as their language will uh, use another platform such as Khan Academy, Coursera, Udemy, and uh, other platform to fulfill that. So this is the landscape of the Indonesian digital classroom, how they integrate the digital platform into traditional classroom. So, and then uh, and suddenly come the COVID-19 or Corona. So just as the other panels already presented before, I would say that there is two era right now. So BC before Corona and AC after Corona. So it's actually the suddenly came of this disaster, I would say, provides a challenge then opportunity. First, the challenge. We know that the established education system, uh, institutional, and then even the nation, we are not ready for 100% adopting the online education system. So maybe some of it already implement some blended learning, maybe, or flipped classroom. But no, I don't think any of there are not many institutional education institution that already implement 100% online learning platform to conduct their course, even maybe only Open University, Universitas Terbuka, that already implemented that a long time ago before Corona. And after that, but it also exposed one opportunity for us as a researcher, as a lecturer. We can provide a better integration, and with this situation where we are forced to do online education learning system, then it is an opportunity for us to test what works and what's not, and what can we do about that, and to convert the conventional way to teach into the online learning system. So I think it's very good opportunity for e-learning to flourish and take a bigger part to learning experience in Indonesia. So what do we do now? So I would not talk about the theories because I'm not very capable for talk about that. I'm not uh, have much exposure about researchers, but what do I learn from implementing and developing massive open online courses in other country, for example in Germany. So I would say that there are at least four aspects that we have to see. We can see in order to uh, set up and build a meaningful e-learning system. First of all, we have to have a clear vision of our goal where we understand our user, who the platform we will build will be used. So we can see from the age, maybe gender, and then the experience, how good is their grasp of technology, and then the location also. I saw that in some of the question already mentioned in the Zoom. There are more concern about what about us if we have uh, uh, not very good internet connection, so for example like that. So we have to think about that and uh, integrate that in our system, make it become one of the feature. For example, I saw that in the implementation of the MOC in Hasselblad Institute that I have experience and see how they works. They also conduct so many research on how to conduct on how to adopt this uh, learning system in a remote area. For example, they can use like case system, so the content of the learning can be downloadable, and then if they have video, they also give the downloadable content, not the video because it's very big in terms of size, and they also provide some only the voice maybe, and also there is some research that talk about how um, to provide like peer-to-peer downloadable content. So if one of the student already successfully download the content, they can share it via Wi-Fi to other student or directly send it using Bluetooth or something to other student. So this may be one of area the researchers should also look at. And then also uh, the security concern. So each of the nation have different requirement for the security. Some nations such as Germany or maybe US very concerned about the confidentiality of the data. We have one. I actually witnessed one problem with the platform in Germany where they leak the data of the students, and then that's become a big scandal in the Germany. So maybe for us it's not very important right now, but we should have also look at that because in the near future that will be also a big concern for us. So uh, and how it serve other language, for example like the platform that we uh, the institution where I work built. They also work, serve it for the WHO, and it can access with different language. For example, one content can be translated um, automatically into other language such as French and then Chinese and everything. So this is one of the aspect that should be take into account when we build a meaningful e-learning system. first we have to understand our user. And then comes the second one. We have to have a vision how to move the online class experience to online class. This is one big burden because we saw that I know that we cannot 100% uh, uh, displace the experience of meeting face to face with the online system. So there are some uh, sub goal that we have to think about. So for example, in the platform that we built, we already give them a very good structure of curriculum from the beginning of the course. So it's content syllabus and then general course info, and then we have a pre-course survey, and then for each week, what do we do, what should the learners do, and what they expect the outcome from the each week. And then after that, the progress of each student are monitored by the teachers and everything. So I think this is a really good aspect to have a look at. So if we could from the beginning give the student the clear requirement and curriculum syllabus of the course, that will make it easier for the student to follow the course, I guess. And then we have to take into account into collaboration. So we provide some kind of collaboration space in the platform. So each of the student can make a small group, and then each of them have their own like spreadsheet or everything document that they can work real time together. They also work very. This is one of the feature that I think very helpful for the student to make it easier to move the offline class experience to online class. And then we have taken into account the practice aspect. So we have a look at what is the user. For example, like vocational student, we cannot say that um, uh, they have to do more practice. So we have to provide them with virtual experience, maybe the virtual environment where they can interact with similar to physical material, but in the online platform. That will be very helpful for them, at least to get a good understanding of the practical aspect of the course. And then also the tests. There are different type of tests in one of the course. For example, there are quiz and then survey and then exam choices and essay and everything that should be also integrated into the system. And then there's also one aspect. The other aspect is consultation, where they can consult with their teammate using chat, and then with the teacher also to get the insight and everything that they still not get a good understanding in the course. They can ask them and then consult it with the teacher and also the course management. So this is the second aspect of the building e-learning system. And the third one, I think uh, what makes e-learning meaningful if we can motivate users, either it's educator or learners, and keep the high retention of them. So this is one of the choice that we have to make when we are choosing or building an e-learning platform. So there are basic learning system. There are many types. There are many strategies. For example, like project-based, problem-based, team-based, task-based. We have to see what kind of implementation that we want to incorporate in our e-learning system. That will be the base to motivate users. And then the second one is how we display this, how we visualize the system to our user. And so this is where user interface, how the platform looks, and how user experience with the system should be taken into account. So I think the aspect, like several aspects that already explained by other panelists, such as gamification, giving them some kind of feeling accomplishment by providing them with different type of uh, awards or certificates, is very good to incorporate in the e-learning system. That will make them more motivated to finish the course. So as example, in our system, we have several type of uh, certificates. So if they attend more than 80%, they already have one certificate acquired. And then if they complete the test, they have another one. And then if they only casually browsing and learning, occasionally we have also one kind of different uh, certificates. So at least people that use our e-learning system feel accomplished in interacting with our system. So this is the third uh, strategy, or I would say that aspect that should be taken into account when building meaningful e-learning system. And the last one is analytic. I think this is a very important aspect in e-learning system. So we have different type of uh, indicator uh, of learning analytics. So we have to answer this: what, why, how, and who. So what kind of environment that needs the analytics, and then the objective of the analytics in terms of monitoring maybe, or to give the learners a recommendation or feedbacks, and then to give the teacher the awareness or reflection on what is doing well and what's not, and then how the method of implementing learning analytic into the system. Uh, Using the statistic, we can get the data from data mining maybe, and incorporate some kind of artificial intelligence to automatically give a recommendation to learners. If they lack in one areas, maybe we can give them automatic recommendation of what they're lack of, and then the visualization of that, maybe in the term of uh, chart or something else that's easy to understand. So yeah, I would say that the last aspect, this analytic is never-ending look into our overall e-learning system. This is like uh, there are many researches that we can do in terms of learning analytics, and then I think that what we learn from the data that we get from user interaction in the system can improve the system for in the future, and uh, make it better and better in the time and in the future. So yeah, as a conclusion, this is this is I, I would say this is my experience in building e-learning system. So everyone that I saw that many of attendees also researcher, and then um, teachers, and also learners. And I think that in the near future, we each of us will provide a unique learning experience, because we have our own requirements in the learning system, in learning. So uh, I would encourage researchers to have a look at that and give uh, their own insight and experience and expertise in developing a learning system that actually serve its purpose to the mass. Yeah. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much for hearing my presentation, and I will give it back to Ibu Malahati.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zuhra Sofyan. We are very happy that all the speakers share their experience, knowledge that can help us to get more understanding on the learning platform, online learning platform. We realize that COVID has affected many sectors, including the education, and it does not affect everyone equally, like mentioned by Dr. Haruna before. Now we will go into the question and answer session. Dr. Haruna and also Mr. Zamzami, are you
Yes.
still there?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
we are connected now with Dr. Haruna.
Hello? Hello?
What time is in Mexico right now?
No, actually, I just arrived in Tanzania this morning.
All right.
Yes, that's why even I delayed to present because I had to find somewhere to sit so that I can at least present. Yeah, I'm so sorry for my delay, but I'm happy that at least I presented for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Now we have a lot of questions here. I tried to pick up some question that I think that's have a similar. I will go to maybe Dr. Haruna first and then go to Zamzami and also Zuhra. But you can also add more information if you get, we have a question and answer about especially about the digital equity that you mentioned before, that because in Indonesia, many of us have the internet issue, how we can solve this so everyone can get the access online platform and all the learning platform can be conducted very good in many areas. Because it's, I don't know how it's in Tanzania right now. Maybe you can give some experience that we can share with us.
Sorry, can you repeat again? Sorry.
Yes, it's okay. So there is a lot of question, but I tried to pick up and make a summary. We have an issue like, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I hear you.
We have an issue about digital equity that you mentioned before, about internet issue. In some area in Indonesia, we have a very difficult to get access to the internet. So the online platform is not working effectively. Is there any that we can do to solve this problem? Maybe some experience from Tanzania or Mexico?
Well, yes, it's the same. Mexico, Indonesia, Tanzania, we all developing countries and we have the same problem. When I was in Mexico, we were working from home due to COVID-19 and we usually use this Zoom as a means of communication for our meetings and everything. So sometimes the internet is not stable. It's the same actually. It's really the same situation, and the bandwidth, I think the issue here is bandwidth sometimes, and also the investment is quite different from Europe or US. We are still having the same problem. That's why even here sometimes the network is unstable, it's not stable actually. So it's the same, like there. It's not like Hong Kong where Zamzam did his PhD there. It's not actually. Those people over there, as I said, digital technology need investment.
All right. Okay.
Without investment, you cannot manage to make it effectively. So institution need to plan time to time, and like in my country, maybe 20 years to come, maybe we can be able to do that. But for now, we are still lagging behind in many aspects. Over here, we had to close all the schools because we are not yet transformed from traditional teaching to digital. So students cannot be able to access, or teachers cannot be able to offer online learning. So it's two-way traffic in this way. So we have to close those schools, and now they reopened. They went back to schools. That is the situation.
Okay, so I think all have a very complex problem during this situation, and we need to deal with that. I do agree that this is a long-term investment that we have to prepare. At least in the future, we get more familiar with this online platform, right? And also the question about evaluation. Do you have any concern how we can evaluate and put the standard in online learning?
Yes, there are different ways to evaluate online learning. You can evaluate the effectiveness of online learning through measuring engagement as students engage during learning. You can also measure motivation, because traditional teaching seems not motivating students during learning. So you can also measure motivation, because engagement and motivation geared to learning outcome. Once you engage a student, once you motivate a student, at the end, ultimately, will be learning outcome, because students can learn through active learning platform. So in this way, you can measure motivation, you can measure engagement, you can also measure learning outcome itself, and any other aspect the way you want it to evaluate student learning or to evaluate the effective. Because motivation and engagement, you evaluate the system itself. You ask a student, are they the system able to motivate them? You ask a student, the system engage them during learning while they are doing those activities like game-based learning or gamification. Those activities, those badges, they are intended there to motivate and engage students. And also learning outcome now, you can evaluate it through tests. You put a pre-test and a post-test. And then to evaluate the learning from, maybe you can compare, you can have even course experimental to compare those who attended with the digital technology and those with tradition. Then you can evaluate and see what the difference between the two. Or you can use even one course experiment to pre-test and post-test to evaluate the same class.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Haruna. Maybe we will go to Zamzami and Zura and back to you later for final remarks. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we go to Mr. Zamzami Zainuddin, PhD. There is a question about massive open online course, how we can make the most from this system. And also maybe about how we control children under 8 in using the internet. Probably this is the problem of the parents today, that where we encourage the online platform, but it has been misused for another things, and we cannot control it because everyone is like a parent still working, but they need to allow children to use the electronic to access the online platform. Thank you.
Okay, the most important thing for teachers is to establish the interaction with parents, the communication with parents first. Teachers should introduce to parents about educative technologies. So teachers will not control students all the time, 24 hours a day. Even parents, parent will control their children at home. So that parent must be more educated in using technology than teachers. So teachers can invite all parents for one session or two sessions or several times to inform them, to educate them about educative technology on the smartphone, on using internet, and what can they do to protect their children from negative side. there are several apps application that they can use to lock the application, like for example games, YouTube. So their children, if they use mobile phone, they cannot access like game, YouTube. They only access only open apps, like for example Ruang Guru or everything for learning. And also also parents also should be invited to school, or should accompany their children while learning, when using technology. So the most important thing, that parent must be well educated about the use of educative technology for teaching their children. So this is a very important for education. Sorry, I cannot hear.
Still mute, I think.
Sorry.
It's still mode, yeah.
Yes, sorry. So there is a question how we can make the most from the massive open online course so we can get more benefit from it.
Massive open online course. Actually, this is a free to every student can join, can choose every MOOC. If talking about designing MOOC, I'm not expert in design. Maybe Mr. Zura Sofyan is expert in how to design MOOC based on the system information system. What I suggest to students to choose any course from any university that many platform, many MOOC already established and already built in many universities. So students from around the world today, don't say that I never experienced study abroad. I don't have experience study in this country, in this country. So by using MOOC, this is time for you to have experience study overseas, to be a student under Harvard, for example. Just yeah, just register, and you also will have like assignment. You will have a homework. You also will have certificate after completing your studies. You will experience like study abroad.
Thank you, Mr. Zamzami. I think that's, yeah, there's a lot of online free course right now during the COVID-19 that we can take the benefit of it. And we will go back to you later for the final remark before we close. And now we go to, thank you very much. And now we go to Zuhra Sofyan. Mr. Zuhra Sofyan, are you still there? Yep.
Yes.
There is some question related to the online platforms, especially from teacher. Also, they feel some difficulty on teaching online, as well as also children. As like Mr. Zamzami mentioned, that we need to uh, be more cooperative with parents and schools. So it's not like we should do this together. And what do you think that we can do to address the issue? Especially to deal with this challenge.
Yeah, I think we as our educator have to get inside our class. For example, one of the class maybe we are teaching in a remote area, and see how good is the connection, internet connection for that over there, and then we can choose what is the best approach for that. For example, we cannot use online platform for that, but at least if we are able to use a more not primitive, I would say a simple platform, for example, like chatting using WhatsApp group and then give the assignment over there and it works. I don't think it will be a very big issue then. So at least we are not neglecting our students. So yeah, it's not always about technology. It's about how us as a teacher, as educator, see the problems going on within our class, and then provide solution for that. So yeah, I think one aspect is online platform, but the biggest problem, the biggest challenge is how to uh, still give uh, enough information to our student in the class. That's it.
Okay. I think we address almost all the question here. Mostly is the problem is with the internet issue, that also the gap in education, especially in the remote area with the city. And now I go back to Dr. Haruna before we close. Dr. Haruna, are you still there? Okay, maybe I go with Mr. Zuhra first. Before we close, maybe you have a final remarks about the use of technology in education and the challenge that we have today.
Yeah, I've already told present that in my presentation that in order for us as a teacher, as an educator, to provide a better environment for our student to accommodate to accommodate their needs, we have to see the biggest problem, what's going on, and if there is sudden change as such as today, we have suddenly going further steps in terms of using digital platform and everything. I think that's one a good start, but the real uh, the real problem is, I think, is how to see what is I don't know, maybe I would say that the learners is our first prioritization. So give them the best, and whatever means that we use, that will be for the good of our students. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Zuhra, for your final remarks, and also thank you for sharing with us today. And now I go to Mr. Zamzami. Maybe you have a final remarks about the use of technology in education.
Um, I would like to say that technology will never change the role of teachers, the role of lecturers in education will never change. But teachers or lecturers who never or who not do not use technology will be replaced by not by technology but by other teachers who use technology. Okay, so this is very important for educator, for teachers to understand, to know technology, and also for the stakeholder, for the instructor, for educational technologists. Do not teach teachers with directly advanced technology in the beginnings of training. Please teach them with very low level of technology. If we teach them directly to very high level, artificial intelligence, very high learning analytics, they will be confused. This technology is not making them easy to teach, but make more burden on their teachings. Please use step by step in educating teachers, in educating lecturers about technology. So they will be interesting to the technology. If not, technology will be a monster for teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Zamzami. Yes, I do agree that we never can replace teacher by the technology, and especially when we talk about behavior, the role model, this cannot be replaced by the technology. I lost the contact with the connection with Dr. Haruna. I think all the internet issue,
Yeah,
and
internet
but
issue.
yeah, but it's all right. We will close and finish the international webinar. Thank you very much for all the speakers. Thank you very much for your sharing knowledge and time that you spend with us. Before we close, we would like to take picture of everyone. Maybe everyone can put the video on to all the participants. So we can take the screenshot of all of us. To all the participants, we would like to have a picture with all of you. Please put the video on. Okay. We wait a second. Some technical issue. I think the part we cannot see the participant here. We really hope that we can see you to speaker view. Okay, everyone. Maybe we will take a screenshot for a while. Okay, we're done. Thank you very much for all of you. On behalf of Chemistry Education Department and the Student Association, Chemistry Education UIN AR-RANIRY Banda Aceh, Indonesia, we would like to thank everyone for joining us today. And thank you very much again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.